feel like a small worry grows into a massive, frightening monster in your mind? You might be struggling with catastrophic thoughts. These anxiety-driven thoughts can lead to intense fear and helplessness. This video will guide you on how to break this negative cycle and reclaim control over your thinking. Catastrophic thoughts are essentially exaggerated, irrational thoughts that something terrible is about to happen. They're often characterized by predicting the worst possible scenarios, even when there's no real reason to believe they will occur. These thoughts can center around concerns about your health, finances, relationships, or other vital aspects of your life. Let's illustrate this with an example. Imagine you have a slight headache. Someone without catastrophic thoughts might simply think, I need to drink some water and take a break. But someone prone to catastrophic thinking might immediately jump to the conclusion that it's a brain tumour. It's the exaggeration and fear that distinguish these types of thoughts. There are some key characteristics to look out for when you are trying to identify these thoughts. First, there's exaggeration. The thought is blown up to an extreme level. Second, there's irrationality. There's little to no real evidence to support the idea that the worst will happen. Third, the focus is on negativity, ignoring any positive or neutral aspects. Lastly, these thoughts trigger strong feelings like fear, panic, or helplessness. Several factors can contribute to the development of catastrophic thoughts. Anxiety is a big one. When we're anxious, our brain is more likely to interpret situations as threatening and focus on potential dangers. Also, our genes play a role, and some people are predisposed to anxiety. Similarly, past traumas can increase your risk, as can living a stressful life. Anxiety disorders impact a large percentage of the population. In fact, about 31.1% of US adults experience an anxiety disorder at some point in their lives. This can impact day functioning and even increase the risk of other mental health conditions. The good news is that with the right support, people can improve their quality of life. The first and most important step is becoming aware of when you're experiencing catastrophic thoughts. Pay attention to the situations or triggers that seem to set them off. Keeping a thought journal can be really helpful. Write down the negative thoughts you're having along with the feelings and physical reactions they trigger. This can help you identify patterns and tendencies that you might not have noticed otherwise. Once you've identified a catastrophic thought, try to challenge it. Ask yourself questions like, is there any real evidence that this thought is actually true? Are there any other possible explanations for the situation? Even if the worst case scenario does happen, how would I handle it? Remember, it is important to be realistic and avoid judging yourself harshly. Grounding techniques can be super helpful for bringing you back to the present moment and away from the racing thoughts. Engage your senses with something like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Acknowledge 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This helps to reduce the overwhelming feelings of anxiety. The STOP method is a great way to disrupt the negative spiral of thoughts. First, stop. Interrupt the negative thought pattern. Take a breath to help calm your body. Observe what you are feeling. Then, pull back and ask yourself about the facts of the situation. Finally, practice a new, more helpful response. We've covered some effective strategies for breaking free from the negative cycle of catastrophic thoughts, including awareness, challenging those thoughts, grounding techniques, and the STOP method. By implementing these techniques, you can regain control and reduce anxiety. Download the Harmoni app today for a free 14-day trial to help you on your journey towards peace of mind.